Amazon's big event unveils lots of Kindles, Kindle Fire HDs, Kindle Paperwhites, and some innovative software features. It's Friday, September 7th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, and today's show's going to be a bit freeform. I'm going to be talking about Amazon's event and what they announced on yesterday's Kindle event. So today's audio may be a bit off because there is a lot more background noise than is usual. But with that said, let's just get into what Amazon announced. So basically, we've got a bunch of new hardware. Amazon has the Kindle Fire range now from down to $159 at the low end, all the way up to $600. They have quite a diverse product line there. And they have the basic Kindles starting at $69, going all the way up to $179 for the new ones, but they still have the Kindle DX, those things around. So that's kind of the overview of what they've got going on in their product line. Let me kick off the show with Jeff Bezos's entry on Amazon.com to give you his perspective as to what they're announcing today. So dear customers, today we're excited to introduce the all-new Kindle Fire HD. Kindle Fire HD 8.9-inch 4G isn't just the best tablet for the price, it's the best tablet. That's his opinion, I guess. $499 now gets you a large screen HD tablet with a stunning 8.9-inch display, an exclusive Dolby Audio, dual stereo speakers, the fastest Wi-Fi, ultra-fast 4G LTE wireless, plus our new unprecedented $50 one-year 4G data package. Customers save hundreds of dollars in the first year compared to other 4G tablets. Kindle Fire HD 8.9-inch is also available in a Wi-Fi only model for $299. Kindle Fire HD is the world's most 7-inch tablet. So he moves now onto the 7-inch version of this Kindle Fire HD. It also has stunning HD display, plus the same exclusive Dolby Audio, dual stereo speakers, the fastest Wi-Fi, and 16 gigabytes of storage. This one's priced at just $200. They're also introducing the world's most advanced e-readers, Kindle Paperwhite and Kindle Paperwhite 3G. You'll do a double take when you see Kindle Paperwhite, according to Jeff Bezos. We've added 62% more pixels and increased contrast by 25%, so whites are whiter and blacks are blacker. We've also added a revolutionary built-in front light for the perfect reading experience, whether you're out at the beach or at home in bed. Kindle Paperwhite starts at just $119. Kindle Paperwhite 3G is available for $179 with free 3G wireless. Never pay or hunt for a Wi-Fi hotspot with this device. We've also updated our smallest, lightest Kindle with an improved font and 50% faster page turns. It now just starts at $69 versus last year's model of $79. The Kindle Fire HD and Kindle Paperwhite are each in a class by themselves when it comes to hardware. There's nothing better, but the real magic is what they are also as a service. When combined with their enormous content ecosystem, unmatched cross-platform interoperability, and standard-setting customer service, we hope people will agree these are the best tablets and e-readers anywhere at any price. Thank you for being a customer, Jeff Bezos, founder and CEO of Amazon. So that's his kind of spiel there. I do disagree with him that these are probably not the best tablets. I have heard that the screen is really phenomenal, and if you are an Amazon customer, if you're into that whole thing, it's probably a great thing. I'm not that kind of person. I'm in the iTunes ecosystem. That's where I buy my movies and rent my movies, all that kind of stuff, and nothing's really going to take me away from that unless Apple makes some really, really big mess-ups, which I don't see them doing. So let's start out with the Kindle Fire HD 8.9-inch. So they went with a screen size that is really a widescreen screen size, right? So this is Kindle's Fire. This is the bigger Kindle Fire, and 8.9 inches. This is not quite as big of an iPad which is 9.7 inches. This is more in line. It's almost like the iPad Mini, so to speak. 8.75 inches is what we're hearing there. So even this device is still going to be a heck of a lot smaller than the iPad. Now they went with a widescreen display, which means this is really going to be a content consumption device. This is not a device where you build your tablet quality apps. I firmly believe that tablet quality apps are in the aspect ratio of the iPad. Apple built it in that aspect ratio for a reason, and I don't think they messed up. They did this for a reason, and that's the reason they chose. So they ended the show with the 4G LTE inclusion here, that they do have a model with LTE connectivity, and that starts at $500, and it's a bit odd. You know, with the iPad, you've got the added option of doing 3G or LTE on any of the different models, right? And that starts at 16 gigs all the way up to 64. Now this model with Kindle, you have the option of 32 or 64. You don't get the 16 gig option, which I find a bit odd because that would lower the price. Also to note, you don't have a 64 gigabyte option with with just the Wi-Fi one. That's exclusive to the LTE model. So if you want the 64 gig, you're going to need to shell out the cash, the extra 130 for the LTE. So it's really a big upsell. $600 for the 64 gig with LTE, and that's kind of your top of the line. Now they did something rather cool. So you know how you have monthly prices for iPad data plans around 15, 20, $30? Well, they have this thing set up where for $50 a year, you get 250 megs a month. So that's $50, which gets you through the whole year to 250 megs, which on LTE I think you'll burn through within the first day. I really do. Even surfing the web, I think that will be a problem. But you do get some data if you're very careful and just use it for perhaps email and the occasional website. They also include 20 gigabytes of cloud drive storage, and you get a $10 Amazon App Store promotional credit. So they try to give the best bang for the buck here. They compare this to, you know, what the iPad does or whatever. So an iPad 32 gig LTE, which they call the iPad 3, which I find odd since Apple doesn't really do that. iPad 3, $729 versus $500 Kindle Fire HD. They then go down to the data plan. So if you were going to use that same amount of data on AT&T or whatever it is, be $230 in that year versus $50 on the Kindle Fire HD. So yeah, that's great, but you know, it's revolutionary. It's what Apple wanted to do, I think, originally, getting data, you know, as easy to get to the customers as possible. That's why we had unlimited data originally. They do note on their site that there will be that if you need more data, additional 3 gigabyte and 5 gigabyte data plans are also available for purchase. You can sign up for data right from your device. So that is a thing, and it's still unclear how much that will actually cost. So this device looks to be a really awesome thing as far as if you're an Amazon person, that's kind of your deal. So what else is in this device besides LTE? What does the Wi-Fi one have in common with this? Well, they both share this display that is 920 by 1200, which I believe is just standard 1080p display ratio there and everything else. Something really nice about these tablets are, like the WebOS touchpads, they do have stereo speakers, which is something that the iPad does not have. And it's something I actually thought the touchpad that I have does better with. The speakers are better, and it's a much more enjoyable experience watching movies with the stereo speakers. This device also has faster processor, things like that. And they're doing something a bit odd with Wi-Fi. They went on and on with how they have 2 antennas and better bandwidth, that you can get 31 megabits on the Kindle Fire with dual band dual antenna versus 22 on the iPad with the dual band single antenna. So basically, this device is going to be able to smartly switch between Wi-Fi on the different frequency, 2.5 or 5 gigahertz. So it's able to detect which is more available to be used. They also tout their over 22 million movies, TV shows, songs, etc. This device, as well as the other Kindle Fires, will be integrated with Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. They actually built a really remarkable mail client for this Kindle Fire and the other ones. They also integrate with Skype, and they have many other things. One thing I find kind of funny is even the $600 Kindle Fire HD includes sponsored and screensavers and special offers. So your $600 device has ads built into it. Now beyond that, they're doing something pretty cool for parental control. It's basically called Kindle Free Time, in which a parent can set up the appropriate daily screen limits on each type of content. So say you have your books, you're allowed unlimited reading time, but say you want your kid to only have 2 hours of movie watching a day or 30 minutes of TV watching a day, you can set that and it limits them from use to only that set amount of time, which is, I think, a cool thing. You have different profiles in the Kindle, so you can actually limit yourself to not overindulge in movies every day, and it's a pretty cool thing that you're able to do here with that. So as a parent, I think that's a really remarkable thing they have put inside of this Kindle. Now, you know, they go on to do some other really cool things that I find quite interesting. First off, they seem to be going after the iBook textbook market by pushing this as your textbook. You know, that this will be the way you have textbooks. And Apple has their model that I find is quite awesome. So beyond that, they've done some really cool things with books with the Kindle Fires. You have audiobooks now that will actually sync the audio and the paper book together. So when you're done listening in the car, you can pick up the book and it will pick off where you left off. Those two are linked and they're succinct, which is a really cool thing that I think a lot of people have wanted for many years, but it's finally here. So that's a really, really nice thing I think they're doing. And if you're a book reader and you're into that kind of stuff, that's kind of cool. Now they're doing this thing called XRay. So XRay for movies, for books, for textbooks. XRay is where on movies you can, you know, tap on any scene to instantly see which actors are currently on screen, jump straight to other movies which they star. So basically you're able to tap on the screen and it will show the actors that are on the screen, powered by IMDb, which Amazon owns, and it gives you this little kind of cool way to, you know, check out other movies and things they're in. Now, this could be a great thing, this could be a terrible thing. I'm concerned that this might be distracting for me watching a movie. This might get in my way. I might accidentally get into X-ray mode that I don't want to be in. They also have the X-ray for books and textbooks, and they're bringing this X-ray brand kind of all over. So X-ray for textbooks, you know, want more information on a topic, with a single tap you can find all related pages in the textbook. Basically it looks like a glorified glossary type thing, and they're just bringing this X-ray branding across everything. They're also doing that with WhisperSync. So WhisperSync, as I said, with the books, the audiobooks are synced up, the movies have it, the games have it, which is similar to how iCloud syncing would work if developers actually did that. So lots of things there. They are bundling in Facebook. I guess it's a free app, but not built into it. But it is specially built for this device to be even better. Something I find kind of funny is I'm looking at their Skype demo, and it has a still image with someone that looks kind of computer generated. He looks like too good to be true kind of person, not like a real person. So beyond that, I'm trying to see what else they've done here. You know, they're still pumping out their Amazon Silk for faster browsing and all sorts of other things. The Kindle Fire HD will have HDMI out and Bluetooth, so you're able to connect with those kind of devices. Beyond that, they're also selling these little shells to give you a color and stand for your Kindle Fire HD. And overall, it really does look like a solid device that, you know, if the iPad isn't for you, I'm not sure who that person would be, but if you're more apt to the Amazon ecosystem and that's your kind of world you want to live in, it really does look like a cool thing. Now, comparing to the iPad, I have a hard time saying which is better. I on my objective side would say, of course, the iPad 3 is better than the Kindle Fire HD 8.9 inch. I do think it's a better device. I think the hardware is going to be better. I think all of that's going to be better. But no one really has their hands on it yet. They don't come out until November. So we'll kind of wait and see how this goes with which experience is better. I personally think the iPad is a true tablet, and if you're in the market for a tablet computer, that's what you want. If you're in the market for an entertainment device, the Kindle Fire puts up a good fight. It's a consumption device. I don't think it's going to be a replacement of an iPad anytime soon, and it still has its own special market. So that's kind of my point there. The Kindle Fire HDs did up the multi-touch from a simple 2-finger to 10 fingers. So the iPad, I believe, has even more than that, 13 or 14 fingers. But the original Kindle Fire and the new low-end Kindle Fire, the $159 Kindle Fire, still has a limitation of 2 taps. So the entire line, so that's basically the Kindle Fire HD and the Kindle Fire in general. So all the Kindle Fires are getting this upgraded software, which does do all the things I talked about, and it's some remarkable things they're adding in there. The free time, the parental controls is a rather cool thing, which I'm excited to see them do. So beyond that, you know, they have some new Kindles as well. They lowered the entry level to $69, and they added this Paperwhite model that starts at $119, which it looks remarkable if you're in the e-ink displays. It has a backlight. It has better, reading contrast, whatever. It's gonna look more like paper, and that's a cool thing for sure. And it's gonna be touchscreen, all those good things. And you know, overall, it's a good range of devices they have. They continue to sell the Kindle Keyboard 3G at $139, and they continue to sell the Kindle DX at $379. So you can now get a Kindle from $69 all the way to $379, or in the Kindle Fire range, $159 all the way up to $500. On the low-end device for the Kindle Fire, they have 8 gigabytes of storage. Otherwise, you are at 16 or 32 on the Wi-Fi unit, and then at 32 or 64 on the LTE version of that bigger device. So I believe that's the basis of what happened with the Amazon's event. It was a big onslaught of announcements, and they had some great things to show off. Noticeably absent was the Kindle phone. There was no phone announcement. Also noticeable to me was the LTE option wasn't for the smaller Kindle Fire, which to me, that's the more portable one and the one I may prefer to have that on. And that's kind of an odd thing for me, but it makes sense. Their high-end device is the bigger device, and that's the one with LTE. And it would be really curious if Amazon's iPad mini had LTE, as that would be a differentiator. I think the Kindle Fire HD, the bigger one, is going to be an interesting thing. So when I'm trying to wrap up here. I don't want this to be an hour-long show just about Amazon. But so the market right now, they're comparing the Kindle Fire HD 8.9 inch against the iPad at 9.7 inches. They are putting those things in the same ballpark. That is how Amazon is advertising this. And they're doing this a month before what will have a new iPad probably, the iPad mini. Now the iPad mini is going to be 8.75 inches. If the rumors are true, I still am not completely sure they will be, or it might be 7.75 inches. I think that's actually what it is. So 7.75 inches. It'll be it'll be smaller than this bigger one, but not too terribly smaller. So the Kindle Fire 8.9 inch, it's a question to me, does it compete with the iPad mini, or does it compete with the full-size iPad? I think my inclination is it will compete with the iPad mini. And if that's the case, iPad mini could start around $200 and be undercutting this bigger Kindle Fire. And that might shake up this whole thing, especially with Kindle Fire HD 8.9 inch shipping in November 20th. Apple's device will be shipping in October. So Apple's going to have, I believe, a head start as far as getting it into the stores, getting people's hands on it, and they may beat them to the market even though they announced it beforehand. So this is all getting really interesting as far as the market of tablets and things like that. Anyways, that's what happened in Santa Monica, California, And those were the Kindles that were announced. Some very exciting things, and it's an exciting month of tech with all these announcements happening. And I like to thank you for tuning into today's show and taking a listen as to basically what Amazon did today or yesterday. Before closing out the show today, though, I want to remind everyone that iWake Again is airing again this weekend, and it's a $10 a month subscription that gets you a 30-minute audio show every Saturday or Sunday, as well as access to the scripts that I've written since day one. If you'd like to join this iWake Again community, please head on over to iWakePodcast.com/again. I do this show for free for most people, and this is a way you can support it to make sure iWake doesn't go away, because it is something that encourages me and financially make sure this show continues on. So iWakePodcast.com/again. That's how you can sign up. And that's what's going on in the Apple world today, or today I should just say that's what's going on in the Amazon world today, because it was a big day for Amazon. And thanks again for listening or watching. And that will do this week for some of us, but not everyone. If you're an Again subscriber, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Everyone else, I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a phenomenal weekend, and I'll talk to you then. Aloha.